Something strange is happening right now. Jim Carrey recently appeared in Paris, and people swear he did not look like the Jim they remember. Fans said his face looked different, his vibe felt off, and the whole appearance had people staring at their screens in shock. It was not just a small change either. People online kept saying he looked very different.
Oh, it's a wonderful feeling. I really took on a pretty big challenge trying to do my speech in French.
When the footage hit the internet, social media went crazy fast. The clips spread everywhere and the comment sections turned wild. People were not even talking about the award he received. Instead, the internet locked in on one thing, Jim himself, and the reactions started getting louder by the minute. Soon, one crazy question started popping up again and again. People kept asking, what happened to Jim Carrey? Is that even Jim Carrey? Some users claimed the man in the video looked like a clone. Others pointed to comedian Katt Williams speaking about Hollywood secrets, and they said this situation might connect to something bigger.
Researched my whole life on what the entity was before I got there, you know. My intention was to get in there and kick up some dust and try to become a whistleblower that they don't knock off. Because, you know, they get all the whistleblowers.
Jim showed up at the 51st César Awards where he received an honorary award for his lifetime work in movies, which is a massive honor. He even surprised the crowd by speaking part of his speech in French. But online, hardly anyone talked about the speech at all. Viewers kept replaying the video and focusing on him closely. The way he looked, the way he talked, the way he moved. People said something felt unusual. Comment sections filled up with people saying his expressions and body language just did not feel the same.
A huge conspiracy theory about beloved Hollywood actor Jim Carrey right now because people are saying he's acting and looking very different. Did the Illuminati finally get their loudest whistleblower and clone him, thus silencing him? This is like two conspiracy theories in one, so here's everything you need to know.
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower.
So yesterday, 64-year-old Jim Carrey received a César Award in Paris, which is like a French Oscar. And he was just suspiciously acting out of character for the iconic Jim Carrey personality. And longtime fans also noticed he looked younger or very different. And for a lot of actors in Hollywood, that's the norm. He's 64. I support people getting work done. But a lot of conspiracy theorists who are really just diehard fans say normally Jim Carrey would never do this. His whole brand is drastically changing his facial expressions and melding his face into whatever he needs to do for his role. It's just the last person you would ever expect to do that. But what's really freaking people out and driving home the conspiracy theory is that his eyes are a completely different color now. They are green, but they used to be very obviously brown. Is it him? Is someone new under the mask? And Jim Carrey is infamous for his whole career long time, giving very powerful speeches against government corruption, against capitalism.
Some viewers said he simply did not seem like himself. Others went even further and claimed he looked completely different from the Jim Carrey they remember. Then a few people online pushed the idea even harder, saying he might have been replaced. Soon the word clone started trending after red carpet clips spread across the internet. Fans began digging up older interviews and placing them side by side with the new footage. People stared closely at every detail. Some pointed at his eyes and claimed they looked more blue than brown this time. Others focused on his jawline, saying the shape looked different. A few even mentioned his teeth and the way his voice sounded softer and slower in the clips. One person wrote, "There's no way that was Jim Carrey." Another viewer commented that the whole appearance felt strange and mysterious. Someone else even posted, "They're testing us one last time to see if they can get away with it." Just like the wild theories people make about public figures, the ideas kept getting bigger and louder online. Some believe the real Jim stepped away from Hollywood years ago, around 2017. Others say he started speaking openly about how artificial the entertainment industry can feel. That part is real though. Jim has criticized Hollywood many times before. He has also spoken publicly about powerful systems and the people who run them. That famous red carpet interview where Jim Carrey shocked everyone. In that moment, he told the reporter, "None of this is real." He even said he does not believe in personalities and that, in the bigger picture, we do not really matter. The clip spread everywhere online and quickly went viral.
Tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're
I
celebrating.
mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons.
in
Boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, possibility that we could come up with. It's like icons. Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut it down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that. I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself. And I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I didn't
that an
get dressed
accident?
up. I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
At the time, people were stunned by how deep and philosophical he sounded. It almost felt like he believed he had pulled back the curtain on the whole celebrity world. Some viewers said he was simply talking about spirituality and ego. Others believed he had seen the darker side of fame and success. Now, fast forward to his recent appearance in Paris, and some fans say the energy looked completely different. This version of Jim appeared relaxed, smiling, joking around, and acting like everything was totally normal again. That sudden shift left people online asking questions. Many viewers wondered if someone with such strong beliefs could really change that quickly. Critics on social media said the switch did not feel natural to them at all. A few even started comparing the moment to other internet rumors about celebrity clones. For example, a rapper known as Kid Boo once claimed that there was a secret cloning facility in the United States. He even said that he himself was a clone who managed to escape from that place.
Okay. And what nationality are you?
Sicilian and Puerto Rican.
Okay. Sicilian and Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Those are
That's
my
what's up.
two genomes.
Okay. So who's the Puerto Rican one? Who's the Sicilian one?
When I was cloned, they wiped a lot of memory, but when I stole the documents before escaping, I read that the mother was Puerto Rican and I guess the father, surrogate, you could say, was the sperm donor was the Sicilian.
Okay. So you're a test tube baby.
Yeah.
What's that?
Shout out CLONED.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could actually, as soon as you die, they could actually freeze your body.
Well, what happened with my first gen is they took the skull because he initially had written in a will to the Raelian movement that if something were to happen to him, they can ship the skull over immediately to CLONED. So they can remove a fragment of bone that's located here. And in this fragment of bone, it stores all of your memories and consciousness. And with that, they can make a sufficient replica of yourself, a reproductive version of you, including your memories. And you can be selective as to which ones you keep or don't keep. This process has been around for quite some time. Like Dolly the sheep was cloned back in, I think, the late 70s, early 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Dolly the sheep, yeah, I remember that. And they've cloned a lot of animals over the years.
Yeah, CLONED, I don't want to say too much information. This is going to be broadcast on the internet.
But I don't think they could transfer the actual memories, though.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're living proof of this?
Yeah, I'm living proof. Except all the memories. A lot of them I don't have because of drugs and alcohol as a teenager. So it's kind of like burning an MP3 CD, right? So let's say, we don't do this, people don't do this anymore, but back in the day, you would bootleg a CD, you would need the original copy. Mm-hmm. You put it in, it reads the disc, transfers all the files. You have the same exact CD, it's the same thing. All the tracks, everything, every bar, every hit from every note, everything's gonna be on there. Now, if I scratch that CD, I may not be able to read all the files on the disc, making it impossible to transfer and make a new one.
When Kid Boo made those statements, many people dismissed it as a wild story meant to grab attention. Others, though, said the idea sounded disturbing and started digging into the topic themselves. According to the story he shared, powerful groups supposedly experiment with advanced technology that most people never hear about. He claimed copies of famous individuals could exist and that the public would never know the difference. Those statements spread quickly across forums and social media, turning the whole topic into a massive internet mystery. Now, with the new Jim Carrey footage from Paris circulating everywhere, some fans have started connecting those old claims to what they believe they are seeing. Comment sections filled up with people questioning every detail, from his facial expressions to the way he spoke during interviews. Of course, many others strongly disagree with those theories and say the explanation is much simpler. They argue that lighting, camera angles, aging, or even small changes in appearance can easily make someone look different on video. Still, the internet continues debating the moment with intense curiosity. To be fair, people do change over time. Jim Carrey is older now, and aging can shift a person's appearance in small ways. Faces naturally change, voices can sound different, and lighting on a red carpet can easily make eye color look lighter or darker. On top of that, celebrities sometimes choose cosmetic treatments, which can also alter how someone looks on camera. But even with those explanations, the speculation online has not slowed down. Supporters of the clone theory say the biggest clue is not his face at all, it is his energy. They remember the old Jim as wild, loud, and completely unpredictable. The actor from The Mask and The Truman Show always had a certain spark in his eyes that people felt instantly. Because of that, some internet users claim the man seen today does not carry that same chaotic spark. A few have even pushed the theory that the real Jim disappeared years ago after speaking out about powerful systems behind the scenes. These claims are mostly based on speculation that spreads across forums and comment sections. Some people also bring up the tragic loss involving Jim's former girlfriend years ago. Online discussions often connect that moment to larger theories, though there has never been confirmed evidence linking those ideas together.
Jim Carrey was devastated last September when his 30-year-old girlfriend herself. Now, 10 months after the funeral for makeup artist Katrina White, the just-released autopsy report details her final days. She left a suicide note for Carrey. They had broken up the week before. I've spent 3 days now in disbelief that you're not here. I can go on brokenhearted and try to put the pieces back. I could, I just don't have the will this time.
She had not been seen in 4 days at that point. The last person she'd spoken to, it's believed, is Jim Carrey.
Chris Spargo is a reporter with thedailymail.com, which obtained the autopsy report.
Jim Carrey texted her the night before, saying that he was actually missing a bunch of pills from his medicine cabinet, asking if she had them, but there was no response.
The toxicology report says she had multiple drugs in her system, including pain medication prescribed to an Arthur King, who is believed to be an alias used by Carrey, according to published reports.
She had obtained 3 bottles of pills from someone under an alias. It's believed it was possibly Jim Carrey.
Carrey last spoke to Katrina White via FaceTime for 3 minutes. Her body was found 4 days later in her rented home in Los Angeles. In her note, Katrina left the funeral arrangements up to Carrey.
We know they called Jim Carrey first when they found her body after finding her cell phone, before they even called her family. So he obviously was incredibly torn up about this, but he really was there in the aftermath.
She ended her note to Carrey saying, "Please forgive me. I am just not for this world." She signed it, Dewdrop, the pet name given to her by Jim Carrey.
Then there are Jim's famous public rants that grabbed attention in the past. In one of the most talked about moments, he joked about secret symbols and even mocked the way celebrities sometimes stick out their tongues in photos. During that same rant, he also joked about talk show hosts distracting the public and mentioned mysterious meetings in the woods, speaking in a tone that sounded half serious and half sarcastic.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy.
Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh, I like it. It needs a scraping.
It's the symbol of the all-mocking tongue. And I'm sick of it. I want everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, and they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things. And, you know, and look at him trying to.
That moment quickly turned into one of the most talked about interviews of his career. Viewers could not tell if Jim was completely joking or if he was hinting at something deeper. His delivery jumped between humor and serious commentary so fast that people were left confused and fascinated at the same time. Some fans believed he was simply doing what Jim Carrey has always done best, performing and playing with the audience. Others were convinced he was speaking in a coded way, almost like he was revealing things about the entertainment world, while hiding it behind jokes. Clips from that interview spread everywhere online. People slowed the video down, replayed certain lines, and tried to analyze every word he said. The more the clip circulated, the more theories started forming around it. Now, years later, those same clips are being shared again alongside the new footage from Paris. For some viewers, it feels like the old interview adds another strange layer to the story. They say it makes the entire situation look even more mysterious. That old clip is now spreading across the internet again, with people calling it proof of something deeper. Fans say Jim Carrey has always walked a strange line between comedy and truth. He delivers ideas in a funny way, but sometimes there seems to be a deeper message hiding under the jokes. That is part of what has always made him so fascinating to watch. One moment, he is acting silly. The next moment, he is talking about life, identity, and reality itself.
I don't exist. So they're all characters that I played, including Jim Carrey, including Joel Barish, including any of those things. They're all characters. Jim Carrey was a less intentional character, right, because I thought I was just building something that people would like, but it was a character. I played the guy that was free from concern so that people who watched me would be free from concern.
Over the years, people noticed a clear shift in him. The loud, chaotic comedian from Dumb and Dumber slowly became quieter, more reflective, and much more philosophical. Instead of wild comedy bits, he started speaking about ego, identity, and the idea that much of life can be an illusion. Those conversations caught a lot of attention. Still, critics often bring up another controversial moment from years ago when Jim and Jenny McCarthy publicly questioned certain vaccine schedules during television appearances.
The world was World Autism Awareness Day. You both must be encouraged by all that's happened in this subject since you literally started it.
Yeah, you know, we've come a long way within the community. When I first had Evan diagnosed with autism, there wasn't much of anything. I had to find out about biomedical treatment on the internet after I typed in autism on Google. And out 3 years later now, there's 3 books and many thousands of children getting better because of biomedical treatment.
Jenny brought so much focus to this problem. And kind of that's why I'm here, is I want to bring as much focus as we can to this problem.
You married autism, or well, you're not married, so you live with autism.
When I invited Jenny into my life, I invited Evan into my life. And when I first met Evan, it was like he was on another planet. I wasn't in the room. There was no eye contact. There was no response to dialogue. There was no affection. And over time, I witnessed Jenny pull Evan through the window of unconsciousness and isolation into our world, where he is now a fully functioning person who can communicate, who can connect, and this is through biomedical treatments, GFCF diet, and the therapies that she's talking about. So I believe that autism, in my heart, is preventable,
And treatable.
And treatable.
Fully functional. He's
Completely recovered, Larry, completely recovered. And he's not the only one. There are thousands in this community that are getting better.
Why did you go so public with? I mean, you had an autistic child. He got better. So why are you here?
I could have, hid and not said anything, and Evan would have blended into society. I made a pact with God, though. The day Evan became diagnosed with autism, I said, if you show me the way, God, and show me how to heal my boy, I will continue to teach the world how I did it. And within 1 year of that kind of conversation with God, Evan was undiagnosed from autism.
But it's still shocking to see how many people are ignoring this information.
The American Academy of Pediatrics, I begged and have sat down with and said, why are you not sitting down with our doctors and our scientists who are treating and recovering children with autism? And they refuse to this day to sit down.
I think if there was any possibility that a child was being helped, that someone would listen, someone would take a look. And the fact is, they're not even considering the information. They're not only not considering, they're discouraging.
That situation created huge backlash and endless headlines. News outlets, commentators, and critics all jumped into heated debates about it. After that period, Jim seemed to step away from talking about those topics in public. Some fans online believe that pressure pushed him into the background for a while. Others say it was simply his personal choice to focus on different things. Meanwhile, late-night shows and political comedy programs kept pushing deeper into political jokes, with hosts mocking politicians, politicians responding back, and audiences cheering loudly for whichever side they supported. That kind of back and forth has become normal in entertainment today. Comedy shows, political commentary, and celebrity interviews often mix together until it is hard to tell where humor ends and serious opinions begin. Audiences watch the jokes, react to the headlines, and the cycle keeps spinning again and again. In the middle of all that noise, Jim Carrey has always stood out as someone unpredictable. One day, he is delivering hilarious comedy that makes crowds laugh non-stop. The next day, he is speaking about philosophy, consciousness, and the strange nature of fame itself. Because of that history, every time Jim appears in public, people pay extra attention. Fans look closely at his words, his expressions, and even his body language. They try to figure out if he is joking, acting, or revealing something deeper beneath the surface. So when the footage from Paris started spreading online, it instantly triggered another wave of curiosity. Some viewers simply saw an older actor enjoying a major honor in his career. Others watched the same clips and felt like something about the moment looked different, which only pushed the internet debate even further. This is where some people online say the pieces start connecting. They believe Jim Carrey and Katt Williams were not just criticizing one late-night host or one television network. According to that view, they were calling out a much bigger system of distraction across entertainment and media. The theory says the public stays divided, constantly entertained, and emotionally fired up while larger forces move quietly in the background. Is that a dramatic idea? Maybe, but the concept itself is not new. Media scholars have talked for years about how powerful industries can shape narratives and influence public attention. That idea is actually a basic topic in media studies. Because of that, some internet users have started revisiting older clips of Jim speaking about secret societies and warning newcomers to be careful about entering Hollywood. A few viewers now claim he may have been hinting at powerful figures connected to major scandals. To be clear, those claims are based only on speculation and circumstantial interpretations. Even so, the timing has made some people raise their eyebrows. They point to the recent resurfacing of those clips and compare them with Jim's new public appearance, saying the situation feels strange to them. At the same time, there have been real developments connected to a major case involving Jeffrey Epstein. The state of New Mexico has officially reopened a criminal inquiry into Zorro Ranch, the large property once owned by Epstein. This is not just online rumor or video speculation. It is a renewed prosecutorial review announced by a state attorney general. That announcement immediately pulled public attention back to the case once again. Zorro Ranch has been surrounded by questions for years, and every new development tends to spark another wave of headlines and online discussion. When officials say they are reviewing a case again, people naturally begin wondering what new information might surface. Because of that timing, some internet communities started tying the investigation to all sorts of other conversations happening online. They began linking old celebrity interviews, resurfaced clips, and recent public appearances into one giant puzzle. In those discussions, Jim Carrey's Paris appearance became another piece people tried to analyze. Viewers slowed down the videos, zoomed in on screenshots, and debated every little detail. Some believed it was nothing more than an actor attending an award ceremony after years of staying out of the spotlight. Others, however, kept pushing the mysterious angle. They argued that strange timing, resurfaced interviews, and renewed investigations, all happening around the same period, felt like more than a coincidence. Whether those connections are real or just internet speculation, the conversation has definitely kept people watching closely.
Standing by what used to be Zorro Ranch, Jeffrey Epstein's massive property in New Mexico. And as of now, no one's really investigated exactly what happened here. Zorro Ranch is in Stanley, New Mexico, about 30 miles southeast of Santa Fe, essentially in the middle of nowhere. Epstein owned the property from the early 1990s up until 2023, and some people have accused him and others of wrongdoing at the ranch. Zorro Ranch is mentioned multiple times in the Epstein files, including an account by late survivor Virginia Giuffre.
Many of the survivors had experiences in New Mexico, and as we've learned, there were local politicians and other people that were aware of what was happening in New Mexico. So it's really important that at this point in time, a closer look is taken with respect to that property.
New Mexico State Representatives Andrea Romero and Mariana Anaya put forth a resolution to set up a truth commission on Zorro Ranch. And on Monday, the New Mexico House passed that measure. The bipartisan group will investigate allegations of abuse and trafficking at Zorro Ranch. Epstein died in what was ruled a suicide in a New York jail in 2019 while facing federal charges. When I asked lawmakers why there had never been an investigation into Zorro Ranch before, their big answer was, we don't know.
He was a known sort of gallivanter, ladies' man around town. They called his ranch the Playboy Ranch of Santa Fe. We know very little, if nothing, about, and certainly not a lot that the news has reported on, and what has been reported on is nothing short of alarming. And so for any sense of justice to be had, we have to tell the truth. We have to tell the story of what happened.
Many people online have claimed that Zorro Ranch may have been one of the locations where disturbing activities were rumored to take place. Those claims have circulated for years and continue to spark serious conversations across the internet.
Jeffrey Epstein has leaked emails of people going out and doing hunts. What? Hunting for pleasure. Oh, hunting them like game. The heck? There was actually a woman that's leaking the information of what she said was a Rothschild's hunting trip, right? And specifically certain types of people too, which makes it even more disturbing. This is to Epstein, going to Mean Lana's party now to hunt. Why would you be going to a party to hunt? Snipe hunt is over. Moon crick in a field bag. And then the bottom is so messed up. Look, guess what? Their words. No. Yeah. That's what they're saying in the email. There's speculation they would take a whole bunch of throw them into like a forest on a deserted area enclosed where they can't escape, and they would hunt them like game. And what's even more crazy is, what if this was the first step before consumption?
It makes sense.
There's no exact proof yet where these locations were. Okay. And I don't think necessarily was the island. Yeah. Thanks. Thrilling hunt from Ariane de Rothschild. Amazing old male. Amazing hunt.
What the?
She's talking about who she got.
Stories like that are exactly why some viewers now look back at old Jim Carrey interviews with fresh eyes. A few fans say his strange comments from years ago suddenly feel more meaningful today. They wonder if people might have taken those moments more seriously at the time. Now the big question is still floating around online. Was the Jim Carrey scene in Paris simply an older actor returning to the spotlight, or something else entirely? What do you think? Do you believe the Jim Carrey we saw in Paris is still the real one? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others who are following this story. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.